on the move.
Let's go straight to Alexis Glick. She's at the Claiborne Bridge in the New Orleans area. An overflow situation. Alexis, tell us.
All right, guys. Let me just say my heart is racing really fast. That was probably the most scary drive through the upper Ninth Ward that you can imagine. We are right now on the Claiborne Bridge. Right below me, as you can see behind me, is the canal. That is the industrial canal where there has been overtopping right now. No breach at this time, but that is the concern as to whether or not there was in fact a breach. But right now, as I mentioned, overtopping. Now, we came from the French Quarter, as I mentioned, through the upper Ninth Ward. Oh my God, heart panicking, racing. Trees down absolutely everywhere. Power lines down everywhere. Probably one of the scariest drives. We saw absolutely no cars, nobody on the roads. As you look here, I mean, the roof's coming off here. Very few cars in this area. We're standing up on top of the bridge for fear that if something happened to the levee below. But as I mentioned, the levee below is the industrial canal right over there. The concern is the overtopping west toward the upper Ninth Ward. But as we stand here now, the winds are intensifying. Let me send it back to you guys.
Okay, Alexis Glick standing right there watching the action. A very touch and go situation there.
It appears that that bridge is a main link within the city of New Orleans. It was stand by for a second. This is good stuff.
Okay.
But I want to go back to Alexis Glick. She is in a car in the New Orleans area driving through some pretty scary stuff. And let's take it live. Alexis?
5 seconds. Okay, slow down. 2.
Okay, go.
All right, guys, as you can see right now, we're in the car. You see all the flooding right now next to our car. This is all coming from the canal, which has been overtopping now for at least 2 hours on the ground. And just to give you a sense, I mean, the flooding here is getting more and more intense. As you can see, there is no other car on the road except for a National Guard truck right ahead of us. And this doesn't even give you a sense yet, but look over to the left there, if you can show, Ben. Look at the tree that is split in half. If we can stop here. Ooh. All right, sorry, just 1 second. Bear with us. We're just going to turn around here. But take a look at these trees right now in the vicinity. Just cracked right in half. That just goes to show you how big the gusts of wind have been. Hold on, guys. Just push back a little bit. And that'll just go to show you right now how strong it has been. If you drive down here, all ahead, look at the roof lines and the tree lines. I mean, everywhere we've driven, honestly, probably one of the scariest drives. Trees down everywhere, power lines down, which of course is incredibly dangerous because of the electricity and, you know, the risk, of course, of sparking a fire. But across the board, the streets are absolutely desolate and incredibly, no doubt, I mean, a complete ghost town. Standing up on that bridge, there was nobody else standing up there. We saw a handful of trucks, some National Guard people at the top, but very few people out on the road right now because it has clearly in this area intensified to some degree. And we're going to continue to drive through some of these roads. As I mentioned again, over now to my left, Ben, if you could shoot it to the left, that is where we were just up on the Claiborne Bridge. That is exactly where the industrial canal is. We're driving right now in the upper Ninth Ward area. And just to remind you guys, this is the industrial canal where the breach occurred during Hurricane Katrina on the east side of the canal. The question now is the west side of the canal and what that could do. But right now, as they say, it's all overtopping. They're getting southern winds, and so far that is a good sign. But the concern now is the level of rain that is coming down and to what degree. Here we go. Look straight ahead if you can, Ben. This is going under the bridge over here. Look at the flooding right below us, and you can see that is where the levee is overtopping on the industrial canal. We've driven out there for not very safe. You can see 2-3 cars down there, but a great deal of under there. And the wind
Okay.
Just so you know, we're getting Alexis's shot from something called the stream
check
box.
Back in with you guys to show you what it is like. The streets, the trees are down all over the place. 6 to 12 inches of rain right now in the center. And just look straight ahead. take a look one more time at the breach, not a breach, I should say, the overtopping of the levees. As you can see
Turn around
right
and go
now,
back, please.
it is a pretty precarious
Wow.
situation. So we're going to continue to drive through the streets and give you a sense as to what it is like on the streets. The National Guard is on its way right now, so I think we got to turn around and get out of the area. We're gonna turn around, and why don't we check back in with you in a couple of minutes,
Okay.
when we're through the streets and you can see all the downed tree lines.
All right. Alexis, Ben, and the entire Fox Business team.
Just be safe, Mr. Flock, okay?
He's a veteran. He's covered a million of these
Maybe
things.
so.
It's like, oh, yeah, here's a power line. Things snaking around. The crucial levees in the New Orleans area are in the 9th Ward, as we've been telling you.
Alexis Glick is in the upper 9th Ward. Alexis, last time we saw you, you were driving in hazardous conditions. Where are you now?
All right, guys, we are now over. As you can see, the worst winds we've experienced. We're on a street called St. Claude. It leads down to a bridge here that runs parallel to Claiborne Bridge, where we were earlier. That bridge is running parallel to it. Right behind it is Lake Pontchartrain and the Industrial Canal. As I mentioned to you guys before, actually, as a matter of fact, if you can see down the road there, I'm sure our shot is breaking up. There's a couch in the middle of the road. These are definitely the most intense winds we've seen in this area. Just moments ago, the Coast Guard had a helicopter flying overhead. And if you can take a look down here to the left, you can see one of the trees in the road here. Next couple of streets down, multiple trees down in the roads. This is definitely the zone of contention right now. We just talked to the National Guard. They are down here trying to make sure that they can get anybody out of their existing homes who are trying to evacuate. Guys, back to you.
Interesting, Alexis, as I know you want to get back in the car, that the wind is so terrible where you are, yet we just took Jeff Flock, and he seemed to be okay, yet the storm is 10 miles from Morgan City.
It makes an enormous